This is Kyle Becker. Welcome to Explain America. An immigration case that has made an MS-13 gang member and accused wife abuser a Democrat media superstar is unraveling, and it's exposing just how broken the legal system really is. Now, the media has spent weeks portraying Kilmar Abrego Garcia as some kind of political victim, but now newly surfaced court records from 2018 are blowing the Dems narrative to pieces. But before we get into the full story, please make sure you're subscribed to Explain America. We bring you common sense journalism without the left-wing media bias. Like, comment, share, it helps us get the truth out. Now, here's what we've learned. In 2018, long before the deportation and the recent court battles, Garcia was named in a Maryland court document as a gang member. The filing came from Edwin Trejo Ramos, who was in a custody dispute with Garcia's now wife. He wrote in his position, she is dating a gang member. Now, he didn't name Garcia directly, but the timeline matches exactly, and court records confirm Garcia and the woman were living together at the time. Now, that's just the beginning. A confidential police informant told gang investigators that Garcia was a chequeo, a mid-level soldier in the MS-13 Western clique. He had a street name, Hele. He was seen loitering with known gang members in a Home Depot parking lot, wearing a Chicago Bulls hoodie and hat, a symbol commonly linked to MS-13. And here's where the so-called media fact-checkers fall flat. ABC's Terry Moran recently claimed in a fake news interview with President Trump that Garcia's tattoos, the same ones visible in multiple photos, were Photoshop. Let's go to the clip.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute over that.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
Right, we'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshopped? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted. This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El Salvador.
They weren't there, but they're there now, right?
No,
but
they're in your picture.
Terry.
Ukraine, sir.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we'll take a look at that.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at that,
Why don't
sir.
you just say, yes, he does, and, go on to something else?
It's contested.
But you can clearly see the tattoos, the faded knuckle ink, the elbow star. All are linked by gang experts to MS-13 symbolism. Even Maryland Sheriff Jeff Gawler got it right. He said, I 1,000% believe he's an MS-13 gang member. Watch.
What do you make of all this? This is the same Democrat Senator Van Hollen who voted along with 36 or so Democrat senators against the Laken Riley Act, walked out of President Trump's joint session address when the president talked about women murdered by illegal aliens. What do we know about Garcia?
Well, it's absolutely appalling that this is where Senator Van Hollen and many Democrats, the many that are down there right now, want to focus their efforts on an individual who certainly has MS-13 ties, and I 100% believe, 1,000% believe him to be an MS-13 member from everything I've read out of the police reports and what has been released. This isn't just an average person on the street. This is somebody that the police have looked at and been able to tie, and 2 immigration judges have tied him to MS-13. This just isn't a victim of circumstance, of unfortunate circumstance. This is an individual who should not be in our country, who was ordered for removal.
But what did the Biden-era DOJ do? Protect him from the FBI when he was suspected of human trafficking. That's right, Highway Patrol pulled him over, and they thought he was an MS-13 gang member, and the FBI under Biden said, no, just let him go. Absolutely outrageous. And now Democrats, including Senator Chris Van Hollen, are demanding his return from El Salvador. Seriously, they're fighting tooth and nail to bring back a man with documented gang ties based on what amounts to be a paperwork slip-up. Now, he has no right to be in this country. He may not have the legal standing to be in El Salvador specifically, but he is going to be deported one way or the other, and they're claiming this is just a due process problem, when actually he is wanted as an MS-13 gang member back in his home country of El Salvador. That's right, he's a foreign national and an admitted illegal alien. So all of the Supreme Court said is they had to facilitate his release, but he's now in the custody of a foreign nation, his home nation. So it's very difficult to see how this Supreme Court decision is legally binding. But one thing that really doesn't make a lot of sense is how the Democrats are willing to just risk horrible optics to fight someone who's accused of being a wife abuser, who has MS-13 gang ties all over the place. And if you know anything about MS-13, they have been designated a terrorist organization. This is like the ACLU going to bat for Al-Qaeda. Oh, wait, they actually did that. Well, anyways, it's not like the ACLU is going to bat for all these criminal aliens who just kill Americans and... Wait, they're doing that too. Well, anyways, it's not like the ACLU is worthless and doesn't care about American civil liberties or anything, right? All right, we'll just move on here. Enough about the ACLU. They're kind of a lost cause. So what do we have here? An illegal immigrant with years of documented gang ties, a massive push from Democrat lawmakers and activists to reverse his deportation, and a media desperate to clean up a story, even suggesting his tattoos were fake. I mean, what are they, an optical illusion or something? This isn't about the credibility of the system and whether we're serious about keeping dangerous criminals out of the country. We'll keep tracking the story, but make no mistake, the Democrats really fell on their face with this one. We're going to keep pouring it on because it really reveals a lot about who the Democrats are and what they stand for, which isn't good. This has been Kyle Becker with Explain America.